येनाक्षरसमां नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्च ज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। अज्ञानान्धस्य लोकस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay, we are in Samhitayam Adhikaraha. In the previous classes, we discussed about these sutras. Echo yavayavaha vanto yi pratyaya dhatos tannimittasyaiva. These sutras deal with the cases where the Purva Varna, the first letter, is an H letter. Before going to the next sutras, we shall discuss something related to these sutras. By H O Yavayavaha, these H letters get Ayadi Adeshaha. A becomes I and Au, O becomes Au, I becomes I, and Au becomes Au in presence of or when they are followed by H letter. This we know. Vanto by Vanto Yi Pratyaye, the Okara or Aukara, they are converted into Vantadesha. O becomes Au becomes Au when they are followed by Yakaradi Pratyaya. By Dhatos Tanimittasyaiva, the O and How of a Dhatu gets converted into Au or Au when followed by Yakaradi Pratyaya only if those O or Au are generated or created by that Yakaradi Pratyaya. So the nimitta for that O or Au should be that Pratyaya itself. Otherwise, Vanta Deshas cannot be substituted there. So let us imagine ourselves in the position of Panini Maharshi. So we are trying to create or formulate the formulas. So we have formulated these sutras. Echo yavayavaham vanto yi pratyaye dhatos tannimittasyaiva. The next case is a plus a athava hai when followed by yakaradi pratyaya. Is yantadeshas required here is the question. So we see the forms in the language. Shri plus yetto. We know that the form is Shreya. That she undergoes Gunadesha because of Yetto. That ye Shre plus Ya, it is Shreya. The form we use in the language, the form which is there in the language is Shreya. It is not Shreya. If it is Shreya, then Yantadesha is required for that. Similarly, for Ni, it is Neya. For Di, it is Deya. So that Yantadeshas are not required. So the mention of Vanto E Pratyay, the Vanta in the Sutra, Vanto E Pratyay. So Vanta Deshaha na bhavati na avashyakam. But there are these words in the language: Kshaya, Jaya, Kraya, Bhaya, Pravaya. These are also there in the language. So these are derived using the same pratyaya yet. Kshaya is derived from kshi dhatu by adding yet. Kshi plus yet. Similarly, jaya from ji, kraya from kri dhatu, bhaya from bhi, pravaya from prav upasarga, vi dhatu. Yet is the pratyaya, top is the stri pratyaya. It is used in strilinga only. So stri pratyaya top is added to pravaya. Here we know Kshaya is derived from Kshi Dhatu by adding Yatto. If you see the Prakriya, Kshi become Yatta, the Takara gets deleted. Kshi becomes kshe, gunadesha by sarvadhatuka ardhadhatukayoho. Then for kshe plus ya to become kshaya, that he should get ayadesha, kshay. Here, a should become I, yasin yecho yavayavaha, a should become I, then only this is possible. But there is no sutra in Ashtadhyayi which mandates ekarasya ayadesha when followed by yakaradi pratyaya. Vanto e pratyaya is restricted to vantadesha. It is not, it doesn't allow yantadesha. So there is no sutra which allows this transformation. So, but this form is there in the language, Shaya. Similarly, Jaya, if you take the Jaya, it is G plus Yattu, it is J plus Ya. Then this is possible, Jaya is possible only if there is Ayadesha here. Similarly, Kraya is possible only if there is Ayadesha here. Kray should becomes Kray. Similarly, Bhaiya is possible only if it is if Ayadesha is possible here also. Bay should becomes Bai. Similarly, Tavaya, here way becomes Y. Otherwise, this form cannot be derived. But there is no sutra which allows Ayadesha. So, yetesham ekarasya ayadeshaha bhavati bhavet. It should allow. There should be some sutra. There should be ayadesha for these 5 cases. So let us plan to formulate some sutras for this. Let us formulate a sutra. Let us formulate a single sutra which tells for these 5 dhatus there will be ekarasya ayadesha when followed by yat pratyaya, like that. Let us think like that. But we do see the forms like this: ksheya, jeya, kreya, bheya, praveya, from the same dhatus: chi, ji, kri, bhi, vi. We see ksheya as well as ksheya in the language, and ji, jeya is also seen, jaya is also seen. Similarly for others 3 also. So 2 alternate forms are seen in the language. So again, if we formulate a sutra where we say ayadesha is possible for these 5 cases, and then we have to encompass, we have to include this case also, then we can say optionally that happens like that, we can say, and then there will be optional ayadesha. Without ayadesha, the forms will be like this. But there is one more problem. Before that, this she, it becomes ksheya, g becomes jeya, kri becomes kriya. It is normal because by the sutras of Ashtadhyayi we can derive this. Kshi plus yat ksheya. Here takara gets deleted and it undergoes gunadesha, but sarvadhataka ardhadhataka yoho. There is no problem for this. But for kshaya and others, jaya, kriya, for that ayadesha is not possible for any by any sutras. There we have problem. And the one more problem is, among these 5, this kshaya and jaya, these 2 are used in only shakyarte, in sense of capable. Kshaya, it can be decade like that. Jaya, it can be one like that. Shakyarte, this pratyanta forms are used in many meanings, in many shades of there are many shades of meanings for these yat pratyayanta forms. I am not going to into details of that, but one of the meaning is shakyartha, capable of doing that. So that sheya and jeya, they are used in all the meanings in which the yat pratyayanta words can be used. But this kshaya and jaya, they are used only in shakyartha, and this kraya is used only in tadarte. Tadarte means in the same meaning as that of the dhatu. And bhaya and pravaya, they are only used in chandasi. They are not. They are restricted to the. Their usage is seen only in the case of Vedas. So in normal literature, what we see and what we speak, we cannot use this bhaiya and pravaya. So these are the some more constraints to formulate the formulas. So Panini Maharshi has given the sutras like this: Shakyarte, Shayajaya. So Shayajayau Shakyarte, Krayastadarte, Bhaiya Pravaye Chachandasi. It means here by Kshaya Jayav Shakyarte, he has not given the Prakriya for Kshaya and Jaya. He is just telling the Kshaya and Jaya are the two words that are there in the language. We have to use that in the sense of Shakyarte. Shakyarte, we have to use Kshaya and Jaya. He has not telling here for Kshaya and Jaya there will be Ayadesha. He is giving the words ready-made. There are two words. It's like there are two words, Chaya and Jaya. We have to use them in Shakyartha. Is the meaning of this word. And Kriyas Tadarte. There is a word Kriya. We have to use in the sense of Tadarte. Tadarte means in the same meaning as that of the dhatu from which it is derived. Kri is the dhatu. Kri means to purchase. Similarly, Bhaiya and Pravaye, these are the two words. They are present only in Chandasi. So, these type of giving the words ready-made without giving the prakriya for them is called as Nipatanam. Nipatanam. Nipatanam means प्रातिस्विक विधिं विना सिद्ध प्रक्रियस्य शब्दस्वरूपस्य निर्देशः निपातनम. प्रातिस्विक विधिं means one's own vidhi. One's own vidhi means every word has its own vidhi, how it is derived from its root words. Every word, there is no exception for that. So pratisvika vidim vina, so without giving the vidhi for that word, siddha prakriyasya shabda swarupasya, ready-made shabda swarupam, giving shabda swarupa, ready-made. Nirdeshaha means mentioning, giving, presenting. Nipatanam is what is called as Nipatanam. Nipatanam means presenting a word without giving the prakriya for the word. So if you consider Kshi plus Yatto becoming Shaya, we can see Kshi plus Yatto, then there will be Takara Lopa, Kshi plus Ya, then there will be Gunadesha, Kshe plus Ya. Here, Kshe plus Ya becomes Kshaya only if this A becomes I. So there is no, as we already discussed, there is no sutra in Ashtadhyayi which allows this step, A to I. So, but Maharshi has given the form Kshaya. It means there is a prakriya. There is it doesn't mean there is no prakriya for this Kshaya. There is a prakriya, but without giving the formula for or sutra for that, is directly giving the word. Why? Because if you want to give sutras, then we have to give sutra for this and sutra for the some other word. For each word, if we are supposed to give prakriya, for example, for generation of one word, if we need to give 3 sutras, what is the use of that? The one of the sutras, one of the lakshana of the sutra is Vishwatomukam. It should be Vishwatomukam. It means it should have, the sutra should find its scope in wide range. So if it's just for one word, or the two or more sutras for just the derivation of one word, it is meaningless. So instead of giving many sutras, is directly giving the ready-made word. So here we say this ayadesha is nipatyate. We say this ayadesha is given as nipatanam. So the word is a nipatanam, we say this is nipatyate. This ayadesha is nipatyate. So kshaya is a nipatanam here. Similarly, jaya is a nipatanam. Nipatanam means without giving the prakriya. It doesn't mean there is no prakriya. There will be prakriya. There can be, we can say this happens after this. If suppose there are 10 steps involved in the derivation of that word, let us assume the first two, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. They can be derived. They can be those steps can be derived using the some sutras of Ashtadhyayi. But eighth step cannot be derived by using any sutras of Ashtadhyayi. Then ninth, once we somehow manage to handle eighth step, then ninth and 10th steps can be derived using some sutras of Ashtadhyayi. In that case, instead of giving one sutra for that specific eighth step, we are directly giving the ready-made word just to avoid the unnecessary formulation of one sutra for that. Because if it is not find, if it doesn't find scope in many cases, if the same case is going to repeat in many in the derivation of many words, then nipatanam is not given. Nipatanam is given only when that step is restricted for one or two words. So here ayadesha is nipatyate. Similarly, G plus yet. Here it becomes J plus ya. Here also in all the nipatanas what we are going to study today, that ayadesha is nipatyate. So in all the cases ayadesha is the nipatanam. Shaya jayo shakyarte. In shakyarte, shaya and jaya are the two words that are given ready-made. So kshetum shakyam kshayam, jetum shakyam jayam. So shakyarte iti kim, otherwise it is kshayam or jayam. Kshetum yogyam, here yogyam, yogyarte, it is kshayam. Shakyarte, it is kshayam. Jayam manaha. Krayas tadarte is the next sutra. Krayaha tadarte. It is derived from kri dhatu. Here also ayadesha nipatyate. So tadarte iti kim? Kreyam na dhanyam na cha hasti krayam. Kraya means upalabdam. It is available for purchasing. In that sense, krayam is used. Krayam means what we have to suppose. Kraya means we have to purchase or buy. In that sense, kraya is used. So krayam naha dhanyam. We have to purchase the dhanya. Nacha hasti krayam. But it is not available. Krayam is, its meaning here is available, upalabdam. Upalabdam for purchase. Available for purchase. Kraya means to be purchased. So, in the sense of available for purchase, krayam is used. To be purchased, in that sense, we use krayam. Both are yet pratyayanta only. In tadartha sense, we use krayam. The next sutra is Bhaya Pravaya Chachandasi. These two words, Bhaya and Pravaya, they are used in Chandasi, Chandas in Vedas. This Chakara here is by Checha Sutra, Tugagama. Here Rasvakara of Chakara is there and it is followed by Chakara, Mahaprana Chakara. So by Checha, this Rasvasya, Tugagama, then there will be Shutva. So this Chakara is from Checha. Bhaya Pravaye Chachandasi. Bhaya is derived from B dhatu. Here Bhe plus A. At this stage, this ayadesha is nipatyate. And similarly, in case of Praviyat top, Pravaye, in the derivation of Pravaye, Prave plus Ya, here ayadesha. In all the cases, as I told before, it is ayadesha which is nipatyate. Chandasi iti kim? It is restricted to Chandasi, otherwise it is Beyam. taveyam. So this is about Nipatanam and those three sutras. If we understand what Nipatanam is, then we can easily make out what is Nipatyate in those 5 words. Vaya Pravaye Chachandasi. These are the 3 sutras. Kshaya Jayau Shakyarte, Kraya and Jaya are the 2 Nipatanas in Shakyartha, meaning why they are giving in this sequence of the sutras. Iko Enachi Echo Yava Yavaha Vanto I Pratye Datos Tanimittasyaiva, then Kshaya Jayau Shakyarte. It means those 3 sutras, Echo Yava Yavaha, Vanto I Pratye Datos Tanimittasyaiva. In all those those sutras, that H letters conversion into Yanta Vanta Desha is dealt. So here also Ayadesha is the Nipatana. So it is related to those sutras. So these sutras are given in the same sequence. Kraya Sadarte, Baya Pravaya Chachandasi. But these 5 words are given ready-made without giving the sutras for their derivation. So this is about today. धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः महोदय. धन्यवादः.